Today, you will be able to watch me genuinely evolve as I play RE4 Remake for the first time ever. Now you may be thinking, why the actual fuck would you play RE4 now when Requiem just came out? Well, that's exactly the reason. I have no fucking clue what residents are even evil. And what I'm trying to say is, I don't know any prior story, so I decided to start playing the prequels before starting Requiem. Don't ask about why I started with RE4, I genuinely don't know. Anyways, getting started with RE4, we already run into a bit of an issue. When I recorded the first two chapters of RE4, my audio bugged and ended up making me look schizophrenic, as you can't hear my mate at all. Thankfully, with the format I'm taking this video with, that doesn't really matter, so we can get right to it. Chapter 1 starts with none other than Leon S. Kennedy, in a car of two policemen, driving the said car. We eventually come to a stop with one of the guys needing to take a quick leak and abruptly going missing. Leon then gets prompted to go and investigate, and that's where I take control. Walking through the forest, I stumble into a random house. Walking round this eerie abode, I walk up on a very handsome man. Not responding to Leon's English, I decided to take matters into my own hands and ask him directly with my fluent Spanish.
Soy un caballo.
I must have said the wrong thing though, as right after, this hunk of a man tried chopping me like a redwood tree with the amount of force it had to put on my backside.
Pause.
Leon calmly eradicates the man's brain and moves on with his day until he hears a scream. Following that scream, we enter the basement, and due to me being the pussy that I am, I become very paranoid, even shooting a rat just in case it tried biting my ankles. Finally getting to the back end of the basement, I find the missing policeman, and as I approach, we hear the other one on the radio, and yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it. After this, the game promptly reminds me that I have a Glock, so I know I'm about to get jumped. Too bad, this game doesn't know I've hit Diamond in Valorant, and I end up missing half the headshots. Finally moving up the stairs in an attempt to leave this place. I don't really know the logic behind that. Anyways, we finally find out why we came to this place. Leon came here for Baby Eagle, or in other words, the president's daughter. What kind of codename's Baby Eagle? Nonetheless, Leon informs... I don't know what she actually is, we'll just say it's like another agent for now. He informs another agent that they were right with the location of the daughter until their convo gets cut short as someone hears Johnny's the door. Leon uses his amazing plot armor to jump out the second story window completely fine. Does this guy even bruise? Finally leaving whatever that was, I make my way towards the lake, eliminating anything that I walked past. Nothing was safe. Why the fuck was a bird holding gunpowder? Moving on, I use my Valorant aim again to slam two more blokes out. One entered some sort of spasmic state, so to put him out of his misery, I shanked his neck. Moving past that, I get to a gate, and while opening that gate, not only did I get flabbergasted by whoa, that was bad. Not only did I get flabbergasted by a mummified head, I'm pretty sure it also sent me into my first schizophrenic outburst.
Now you're talking.
Briefly after, I approach a town full of these... what do I call them? Zombies, I guess? Anyhow, I use my binoculars I didn't know I possessed to spy on them like my uncle spys on any school within his neighbourhood. By doing this, I spot the other policeman getting burnt at the stake like he was a woman in the 1600s. I finally decide to run into the area without a sense of understanding on what I'm supposed to do. A few minutes go by, I sneakily shank a grandma and finally decide to go guns blazing by assassinating a grandpa. Clearly, that grandpa must have been the godfather of every person in there because they started approaching me very angrily. No problem though, remember I have hit Diamond in Valorant, so my aim carries me all the way. My aim was so good in fact that I even managed to parry a mid-throw axe with a singular bullet. Moments after, I find out that I can spin kick them and
Come here! Come here!
yeah, a lot of spin kicks later and they finally decide to give me a challenge, to which my response was,
You are clinically insane.
too bad I didn't even get to brawl it out with him, as a bell rang and hypnotized everyone or something. I don't really know, like, I guess it was a Sunday or something. A few bell rings later and all the zombies enter the church, completely ignoring this handsome, hot man standing clueless beside them. How can you ignore him? I could be riddled with parasites and I'd still fuck him, and I ain't even gay. Anyways, after this we get hit with a classic Leon line.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
Join the fun at Foxy Bingo.
Title card.
Moving on, I begin to collect the money of all the people I murdered and started exploring. I'm not going to bore you with the exploring, I actually missed the shotgun until I was told to go back for it, but yeah, nothing happened. Continuing to head for the lake, I get jumped by a crackhead with a hammer and his disciples. To this day I still don't know what the game wanted me to do, when he literally hammered me like a nail to the ground. I kill them all with minimal health and move on. I keep going, trying to head for the lake as I murder more grandmas because they looked at me funny, and finally end up in, you guessed it, another random house, village thing. I find a weird basement and upon entering find the second best character of this game, the one and only Luis. Unfortunately, our talking gets cut short as a giant 7-foot Discord mod approached me from behind. He absolutely folds Leon with one arm and injects me with a parasite that looks awfully close to those fuckers from Aliens, but we move past that. And this is where chapter 1 ends. Chapter 2 starts with a dude talking to me, and I can't lie, the entire time I was waiting for him to say execute order 66, which he didn't. After though, we wake up chained up to Luis, they start talking and things get suddenly kinky. Turns out Luis knows about the missing daughter but isn't very willing to help at the moment. They manage to break down the anchor that kept their chains up there and with the power of friendship absolutely wallop the dude with so said Chains. Louis grabs the key off the dead guy and leaves Leon after chucking the key to the other side of the room. Leon picks the keys up, takes the cuffs off, and there we take control again. I move my way around the building, stealthily killing all the zombies with a knife, and end up finding the equipment they stole from me, and shortly after encountered my best friend of the series.
Over here, stranger.
The merchant. I bought the case upgrades, sold the stuff I didn't need, and moved on with the game. Soon enough, I encountered a door which clearly needed some sort of bird key, so I went and grabbed it with no difficulty whatsoever. When I finally got the key, I headed back to the door and must admit I had a bit of a stroke trying to figure out what to do. But I got there in the end. On the other side of the door was more fighting, even finding another one of the chainsaw guys, but by this point I was already too strong for him and didn't see it as a challenge. Many bullets later, I came across yet another house in which I might have invaded a man's privacy as I walk in on him relieving himself. This is the only valid time that someone's been mad at me in the entire game. Now within this house, I needed to find a code to open a cabinet, which I do quite quickly, and use the crystal marble to open the door upstairs. Within the room, I find some more lore as well as an insignia key. I hope I pronounced that right. This key must have alerted the Discord mod again, as he, without a speck of noise, managed to appear in the doorway ready to throw up your hands. Too bad for him, Leon has a gun. Never mind. Too bad for Leon, Discord mods are too powerful. It turns out the Fedora tipper over here just wanted to check if that parasite was working, and best believe it definitely was. Looks like me after 3 Red Bulls and no sleep for 41 hours. Thankfully, a new character arrives to save the day. Probably the most simped character behind Leon, Ada Wong. Shooting his fedora off, you know he was fuming, so he chucked Leon to the floor and approached the window. She didn't want to see the Discord mod's wrath, so she escaped as fast as possible. Knowing he can't catch her, he decides to leave, leaving Leon to get back up, and that's where Chapter 2 ends. Chapter 3 starts, just like every other, right where the last ended. Roost contacts us with information about Luis. Turns out he worked for Umbrella, so with that, Leon immediately started despising him. Moving on, we get out of the house and suddenly hear a bear trap go off and a dog whimpering. Upon looking at what happened, we could see a white wolf trapped in none other than a bear trap. We help him get out of it and he runs off. Good deed done for the day. My new mission is to now head back to that church. It didn't take long, it was literally the next area. Making my way around it, I found my new favourite thing to do. Totally not because Leon's grunting. Anyways, slowly realizing where I was, I head towards the church and encounter my first proper jump scare.
Oh, this is the church. Right, oh. Why did an explosion scare me? I wasn't expecting that.
The explosion started a fight against a bunch of rabid dogs. Might be a new variant of rabies, I don't think we need that, honestly, but anyways, a few bullets later and they're all dead. Finally getting to the church, I used the newly acquired insignia key to get my way in. Following this, I encountered probably my most pathetic jump scare yet.
Service. Oh, you fucker!
I don't know how I didn't clock what was happening. Upon entering deeper into the church, I found a skull that belonged to like a god of war ogre or something. I don't know. Shortly after encountering the merchant again, I head out of the back of the church only to be met with the actual church. Upon trying to enter this even churchier church, Leon must have reminisced about the time that he was in a prison cell. I don't think that's ever happened, but we'll let the joke run. He shakes the gate a bit, realizes he can't get in, and decides to have a bit of a boogie.
Negative.
Now that I couldn't get in, I tried finding a way around and ended up heading to the next area to find the key. The next area was a pure fuckfest, as I had to spend an entirety of about 15 minutes clearing the place out of freaky zombies. Moving past that awful segment, we enter another part of wherever the fuck we are, and I don't know, I think these birds might have epilepsy, because how the fuck did a stun grenade kill them? Upon murdering the dogs, I looked the place only to hear something.
I don't like the sound of that.
Valid response. Trying to avoid whatever was in there as much as possible, I make my way down the place where I meet the merchant again. I sell some valuables, repair my knife, upgrade my gun, and move on with my day. After a brief intermission, warming up for my Valorant rank up game, I head back up and head towards the lake. Now this part made me hesitate like fuck, because if you didn't know, I have a very big phobia of deep sea. So seeing whether the fuck this was jumping out of the water made me just say, soar my pants a little. This was accompanied by a certain response.
Be real with you. Am I fighting that at any point?
Yes.
I'm not playing this game.
Now my friend, being the genuine devil, then tells me to shoot the water a few times when close to the edge. I reluctantly agreed as my own curiosity got the better of me and yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that again. Anyways, turns out we need to fuel up the boat, but we lack gas, so I head into the next area looking for precisely that. 5,000 bullets and a bit of sanity lost later, I grab the gas canister and make my way back. Upon fueling the boat, we get in and try heading for another part of the island. You know, I mainly want to find out what drove Leon to think a measly boat would do wonders against the big ass mutated fish, but plot armor, I guess. As he heads onto the middle of the lake, guess what happens?
Great. Nothing to be scared of, right? Oh, fuck up. Don't put me in a first person. You're a big cunt. You're a fat cunt. Okay.
And this is where the boss fight starts. It wasn't all too difficult, a few hundred harpoons later and it was done. Plot armor carried. I don't like my stutters one bit. Literal seconds later, the plot armor must have heard my comments and dipped as Leon spluttered blood out of his mouth and passed out. And that's where chapter 3 ends. Chapter 4 starts with the great Palpatine talking about some sacred body. It begins now, I don't really know. But what I gathered is we are fucked if we don't fix this by the morning. If we don't fix this by the morning. Anyways, this little dream shocks Leon awake and it turns out we were out for 3 hours. Continuing with our pursuit for that weird ass key, we move forward into another new area where what I can only describe as the term "what the absolute fuck is this shit" appears basically swinging on sight. Quickly dealing with whatever that was, I move my way through a cave and encounter some sort of ritual statues, things that clearly need some sort of object on both pillars, and by doing that I get the church key. Knowing this, I now search for the 2 objects by boat. The first area had a few dipshits to kill and a puzzle that took me embarrassingly long to figure out as I couldn't remember the symbol to the life of me. Also, what the fuck does he mean by fish?
Which one looks like a fish, Jacob?
None of these look like a fucking fish.
Anyways, I finally unlocked the door and grabbed the first head. Making my way to the next head statue, I gain a new pistol from the middle of the lake, the Red 9. Genuinely my baby, I used it way too much. With this newly gained gun, I finally move on to find the second statue. Similarly to the first one, I had to figure out the puzzle trying to find the symbols. This one was a lot easier and honestly took a few seconds. With the second head gained, I make my way back to that ritual, put both heads on either statue and grab the key. Now with that in hand, I make my way all the way back to the church. Once again enter the area of what the hell was growing behind the gate, but this time I will find out what's making those noises. Can I stop stuttering? Anyways, I can't say I didn't expect this, as
What a shock!
after a few strikes, an ogre bursts through the door and here the boss fight starts. After a few minutes of avoiding getting crushed and shooting what felt like a brick wall, a special someone came to the rescue. The MVP. From this point on, this wolf is my goat, and I think he needs a name. Let's go with Cupcake. Don't worry, it doesn't bite. With our amazing teamwork, including the greatest player of the century going for the ankle biter, we take down the ogre with little to no problem. Unfortunately, that's the last time we ever see Cupcake again. May your life be full of bliss, my best friend. With the ogre now dead, I finally get to the church, killing Cupcake's mutated brother on the way. I insert the key into the gate and make my way in. I complete the puzzle with ease and head upstairs to finally find baby Eagle, Ashley. She freaks out, tries murdering Leon, gets flustered by his sexiness and tries to run away. Leon pulls the Michael Myers and just starts menacingly speedwalking towards her. As she sees more zombies coming towards the church, and this is where both of them get another headfuck of Palpatine telling everyone to go after them, and that is where chapter 4 ends. Holy fuck, I did it without a single stutter. Holy shit. Starting the next chapter, the zombies make their way into the church, and we need to try and get out as safely as possible. But making our way up to the attic, we jump out the window, catch Ashley, and just with that, we escape the church. Now, with my mate's convincing words,
Jacob, she's already into you.
I responded with my totally real ego,
Every girl's into me.
and then to prove myself, began dancing like a male bird attracting the female. I think it worked. Things got a bit out of control to the point that I literally removed her from the plane of existence for a full second, but after that situation, I get contacted by Roost. Leon informs her that we have Ashley, and in return she sends us coordinates for the pickup spot for the helicopter. After the game informed me of how Ash's mechanics work, in a very odd way to describe something like this, we try and move through the army of zombies. After killing everything in our way, we make our way back and come across the merchant again. Just like last time, I sold some stuff, upgraded my pistol, and moved on with my day. Moving through the villages again, I murder some more people, and keep heading towards the extraction point. Eventually, while crossing a bridge, Louise finds us again and saves us from the zombies by letting us in a house. Leon, the grateful guy that he is, immediately pins him to the wall and questions him. Disappointed they didn't make out. Oh no, I'm supposed to be disappointed. Not you guys. But you guys can be too. I sure was. Anyways, disappointed they didn't make out, like, not even a peck, but maybe another time. The interrogation gets cut off pretty much instantly as the undead flood the house. Leon tells Ashley to hide as him and Louise take care of the zombies. This wasn't that bad, I actually found it quite fun. Also, Louise is the go, I mean, he got my back like nearly every time. Channeling my innate power of Black Ops zombies, I finally managed to hold them back until Ashley comes through a door and tells us to run with her. We bolt out of there and run past the lever-held gate which Leon shoots, breaking the chain and slamming the door down onto a dude's head. Lewis's smoking seems to have really got to him as that one sprint got him exhausted against the wall. Now it was Ashley's turn to throw up blood. Louis starts explaining what this whole parasite is and how you can remove it. The parasite is called the Plaga and it can be surgically removed in the early stages, which is how Louis avoided being turned into one of those zombies. Louis then explains that they have to trust him and he will be in touch soon as he walks away, and that's where chapter 5 ends. Chapter 6 begins back with Louise after he walked away. Turns out he's working under Ada, with the objective being whatever the amber is. Right after, we come back to Leon and Ashley as we follow where Louise went. At the same time, Hunnigan contacts us informing Leon that due to the weather the helicopter cannot arrive, so we have to find an alternative way to escape. Making our way through wherever we are, we enter another house only to find some random locker in the corner of the room which clearly wants to stand out. Upon inspection, I was able to send Ashley into said locker, and this is where I knew shit was about to go down. And yeah, I was definitely right, as we finally get to see the amazing athleticism Leon clearly wanted to show off with the famous useless backflip. Let's be real, it was probably to impress Ashley. I mean, he could have just walked backwards from the chainsaws. Anyway, back to the deal in hand. I fight up these parasites as Leon keeps making one-liners about how he's not a player. Soon enough, I kill everyone there and make my way out. With the newly acquired lever, we crank that like... I'm not saying that. Why did I put that in the script? We crank that like Soldier Boy and open the gate to move on forward. We keep walking until we reach another gate that Leon opens. Unfortunately, the second Ashley tries walking through the gate, the Discord mod reappears again. He knew his E keyton was missing and took matters into his own hands. Leon, being the smart guy that he is, thought, well, if bullets can't hurt him, I'm sure a knife will, and stabs him in the arm. The fedora tipper didn't like that and walloped Leon's... Oh, Leon's... He Leon'd him. Oh, yes! And walloped Leon once more. The Discord mod starts talking about some cleansing while casually bending a fucking metal bar so we couldn't get out, and that's where the chase started. What the fuck is this strength, by the way? We run past tons of zombies as I use my Valorant aim to get them off of Ashley and head towards the bridge. Unfortunately, someone was a bit too heavy and caused the bridge to collapse behind us. Leon and Ashley managed to get onto the other side before they fell, which also meant the Fedora man couldn't reach us. I would also be mad if my Egerton left me. Right after this, Leon must have channeled his Michael Jackson as he just... Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Anyways, we meet the merchant once more, do the usual trading, and enter the place right by him. With his pent-up anger and jealousy for Leon, the Discord mod barges through the wall and sends Leon flying for the third time so far. Leon gets up and starts shooting the now fedoraless... Oh, no, never mind. He starts shooting the fedora tipper as if that's worked perfectly fine the last time, and then actually uses his brain to grab an explosive barrel and roll it towards him with an amazing one-liner, as usual. He shoots the barrel, exploding it right in his face, but too bad that did fuck all but made him uglier, and this is where the boss fight starts. Wait a minute, is that Eren Yeager? What's he doing here? Anyways, the boss fight was a bit confusing at the start, but I got the hang of it. The second phase was probably easier than the first, and honestly didn't take long at all. After a few minutes, we finally take out Mendez, I mean the Discord mod, once and for all.
Leon! Quick! This place is coming down!
Ignoring the woman's orders, I take a bath in the fire in order to loot up first. It's important, okay? With the death of the Discordian, we move on to the next main location of the game, the castle. Upon entering the castle, the gate behind us closes, and that's where the chapter ends. Oh boy, this is a long one. Chapter 7 starts with Luis calling us about meeting in the middle of the castle as he has a temporary suppressant for the parasite. We meet the merchant once more, but this time I was too broke and couldn't buy a single thing, so we quickly move on. We begin spying on the population of this castle and spot a dude that could get away with being the leader of a certain group that has quite the bad reputation. We figure out that Luis must be behind that gate we just saw open and try to make our way there. Upon going a few doors through the castle, we encounter a new mutation. I heard it can one-shot, but I didn't want to find out, so I killed it as fast as possible. Using my profound Valorant aim, I discard the next area's population in record time. Now here comes my first death of the game so far. As per usual, my mate gave me the wrong comms, just like he does in Valorant, and tells me to hug the left wall and sprint forward. This ended up killing Ashley as two fireballs invade our personal space, and that marks the first death of the playthrough. Anyways, I managed to get through on my second try and make my way up. I shoot explosive barrels to destroy each catapult and find a cannon. Taking control of this beast, I eradicate a guy. Poor guy didn't deserve it, he was just doing his job. And then explode the gate open. Going through the gate, we meet another door, which Leon opens with his juicy, meaty, amazing muscles. Sorry. Anyways, opening the gate, we enter the throne room with the merchant patiently waiting for us. We sell some treasure, buy the broken butterfly and upgrade our SMG and get going. Upon going further into the castle, a cutscene plays and this is where we encounter the big bad of this area, Ramon. Ramon seems to also throw this Gordian way and wants Ashley to become his e-kitten. After refusing, he said, oh my god. Let's roll that one back. After refusing, he sends his goons after us, but once again my Valorant aim took them down easily. After taking care of that, I spend a few minutes looting the area and finally move on. We find our way through down to some sort of dark basement, and this is where we learn about something dwelling down at the bottom of so said basement. With my curiosity getting the better of me, I head down to try and find what it is. A few seconds later, I end up meeting the most suspicion. I met Suspicion. He's a nice guy. I end up meeting the most suspicious looking hallway I've ever seen and decided to fully send it. I fully expected someone to be behind me as I turned around, but the game had other plans. This puts me into another cutscene introducing a new enemy. I don't actually know their names. Hold on. Garradors. Yeah, no, I'm gonna call them blindies from now on. I guess this counts as like a mini-boss as I begin pumping shotgun pellets to his body, and a few minutes later, A few minutes from waiter. What the fuck? A few minutes later, I managed to kill the blindy and move on with my day. Making my way back up to Ashley, I open the next door and head back up. So in the next area, which took way longer than it should have.
No.
Won't budge.
No? Really?
I make my way to the second floor of the phone room and enter the next door. This next area was... It was something. I've been informed this is every player's least favourite area, and yeah, that checks out. With my CSGO aim coming to clutch, I parry another axe with one day I'll stop stuttering. With my CSGO aim coming to clutch, I parry another axe throw with a singular bullet and take down everyone else with ease. I make my way through, killing everyone with my amazing siege aim, grab the wheel, get back up, and get back up. What? Inserting the wheel into the statue, I twist until the bridge comes down. Moving up to the next part, I need to protect Ashley as she goes around twisting the other wheels. This pushes up hidden platforms which we were able to run to the other side with. Protecting Ashley wasn't too bad, my card aim did disobey me a little as I missed a few shots, but we got there in the end. Running for the next location, a cutscene plays. Ashley begins coughing and seemingly faints until...
Instead of worrying about her, worry about your own skin. Foolish little lamb. Temperance, child.
Ashley.
This whole thing freaks Ashley out and she runs away as what? Why did I stop speaking? This whole thing freaks Ashley out and she... Okay, no, that retried didn't work. Sick. This whole thing freaks Ashley out and she runs away as a gate gets thrown in between us, and that's where Chapter 7 ends. Chapter 8 starts with Leon contacting Hunnigan. However, we must have been on 3G as the signal went to shit and we couldn't understand what she was saying. Moving on, we find the merchant once more and get access to body armor and a new sniper and carry on moving, but not before the merchant has a little bit of a crash out.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down there, buddy. I promise I'm buying from you. You don't need to cuss me out, bro. I promise I'm buying from you. Jesus Christ, you could have been annoyed.
We make our way slowly through whatever type of ritual this is and end up having to go guns blazing once again. Taking care of them quickly with my amazing Valorant aim, I take the Crimson Lantern and fuck off back. Upon using the lantern to enter through a new door, we get met with another cutscene. This time, Ada comes to talk to us personally. A scuffle begins and as the obvious superior, Leon wins. God, there is so much sexual tension between them. Anyways, in summary, she wants us to forget the mission and leave now. Of course, Leon refuses and that's it. She just dips. After solving the puzzle, we unlock the next area and move on.
Do you have arachnophobia?
With that knowledge, I make my way through the doors incredibly slowly until...
I'll just grin like I find them.
Trying not to shit my pants, I start moving even slower, checking every corner, thinking I'm going to get jumped at any moment.
All these spiders.
Taking down that fucking devil spawn, I carry on into the next area. This area once again forced me to use my amazing CSGO aim to take down more plaga fucks while Ramon was trying to get under our skin. Upon making my way through several tunnels, I get hit with the most amount of disrespect since the time I was told I looked like a lanky Pinocchio. After quickly spin kicking the guy into another dimension, I make my way further in and eventually get out, only to be met with the fucking Beast Titan. Trying my best to maneuver past the avalanche of rocks being thrown past me, I managed to reach a cannon, which I then used to blast the fucker. Using one more blast, I open another door and head towards it. Right, back to the mission. I continue moving until I get to a door and hear a cutscene starts. In short, Ashley is scared that she will hurt Leon again and is just overall terrified of turning into those zombies. At the same time, she finds out that Leon is also infected. Leon then tries to help Ashley feel better about the situation, which ends up working, and that's where chapter 8 ends. The next chapter starts with Luis contacting us again, saying how he screwed up and he needs help. Our new objective is to try and get into the ballroom past the courtyard, so we make our way. The next area was in fact the courtyard, which contained a maze. Within the maze, I needed to find 3 flags to drop down, which opened up the door, but not before fighting for my dear life, trying to fight off mostly wolf. What? Mostly wolves with rabies and a few plaga fuckers. After getting all 3 flags down, the gate opens and we move on. In the next part, I need to find 3 different heads to put on the statue, and so the treasure hunt starts.
Hey, Leon, there's some armor. Bet you could use it like a bulletproof vest.
Little old-fashioned for my taste.
Too bad. I think you'd look pretty dashing.
Pretty dashing. Pretty dashing.
Anyways, for the first head I had to eliminate some Plaga Knights, which was a bit annoying. I mean, I could only hit them in one specific place, I didn't really like that. For the next head I need to run down a bridge, but not before my mate gave me a dip.
You see over there where the lever is? Throw it over there and run.
After getting the head, I run back and eliminate everything that got in my way, of course, with my amazing siege aim.
Sure. You can kill it with a grenade, but
It was a misinput, I swear. The third head was very simple. I just had to sit Ashley down on a certain chair and then sit myself down on another one. Picking up the third head, we put them on the statue, and thus begins the worst part of the game in my opinion. After Leon gets trapped by some sort of bird cage, Ashley has no option but to run away. Managing to escape, I now take control of Ashley. I need to figure out how to get Leon out of the so-said cage. I'm not going to bore you with this, as it took so long to do this. In short, I use my blue lantern to freeze the Plaga Knights and move around them. Moving from basement to second floors, I pick up random stuff, go down elevators, open clock doors, and finally use a puzzle piece to open the door and get back to Leon. Moving aside the dead man on the lever, he drops a key which I then give to Leon. Unfortunately, as Leon is about to get out of the cage, Ashley gets kidnapped again by another dude in a red cape, and that's where this chapter ends. Chapter 10 starts with Ada this time, talking to a random dude on the walkie-talkie. Okay, random dude. Even I know a Trusca. Wesker contacts Ada asking about the amber. She responds saying she doesn't have it yet, but she's got someone causing a commotion. Wesker warns her not to fuck around as she spots Ashley getting carried by the dude before, and that's where the cutscene ends, and we come back to Leon. This isn't the last we hear of Ada now, though, as she contacts Leon telling him where to go find Ashley. Before making my way for her, I go back through the area that I had to play as Ashley, in order to find some treasures. During this expedition, I find a new weapon to use, the CQBR AR. With my newly acquired gun, I make my way back into regression as my friend says this.
watch out. I'll give you one thing. Camouflage.
With this weird new enemy on the rise, I make my way through the areas with even more paranoia than before. After solving a weird-ass puzzle in a weird-ass room, Ramon starts talking once again as I shoot down the bridge to the next area. He really didn't say anything important. I guess he was just trying to get under his skin again. This next area was pure shambles, as 2 blindies and a massive amount of plaga fucks started attacking me. After like 15 minutes of trying to kill them, I eventually succeed and pick up the unicorn horns that they drop, insert them onto the statues, and unlock the next door. Approaching the next door, I hear Ashley screaming, and upon entering, a cutscene starts, and this time, I'll let you watch the full scene.
Ashley,
Leon, stop! No, don't come any closer!
are you hurt?
Watch out!
Please, do continue. Do not resist, my dear. It serves only to make your suffering all the worse.
Please, please!
You sick!
Aquí nos despedimos, señor Kennedy.
Hang in there, Ashley.
How convenient. Oh yeah, I forgot that I put on random accessories. I take them off eventually. Anyway, I'm now somewhere deep in the caves and need to make my way out. Upon making my way out of the caves and entering a new code area or something, I stumble into the next boss, Vertigo. This was the most scared I've been in a while as he ran around me.
How the fuck did he just... How has he gone from behind me to in front of me?
Those steps are fucking terrifying. Using information from the prior notes I found, I knew I had to use those nitrogen buttons to freeze him and then shoot him, and that's what I did. A few minutes of chase sequences, freezing, and magnum blasts. Later and I managed to kill him. After his death, the elevator arrives and I'm able to get back up. During the elevator, Palpatine talks to him again, telling him to give in to the parasite just like Ashley did. This is also where we look from the perspective of a certain someone called Jack Krauser. The little vision disappears as we reach the end of the elevator ride, and as the gate opens we meet Louise, and that's the end of the chapter. This chapter starts with Leon getting the parasite suppressant from Louise to feel better, and thankfully it works. Louise agrees to help Leon get Ashley back, and with that we make our way through with Louise. Blowing up rubble with dynamite, we move to another boss fight, this time against two ogres. The first one died pretty quickly, but the second,
What am I actually supposed to be doing?
Why is he just...
Thankfully, Lewis comes in clutch as he finds more dynamite, dropping it onto the ogre, which we shoot and blow him up. This reveals that little thing on his back, which we keep shooting until he dies. Moving on, we get onto one of my favourite parts of the game, the minecart ride. Using my amazing Valorant aim, I take down all the goons within my vicinity as we make sure that the cart doesn't lean over and crash. This was by far one of the most fun parts of the game. I felt like I was playing Rail Rush all over again, if you know, you know. Also, I did not expect this part to last for so long. Capcom must have known it was a good part, as they even gave me a second part to it. With the time of my life finally over and a broken lever in Louise's hands, we make one big leap to a platform which conveniently had an elevator which we used to get back up. Just kidding. We had to make our way around and up again, but ended up getting the elevator again with no problems this time. Upon leaving the elevator, a cutscene plays and I'll let you guys watch this one too.
Gus, we made it all this way. You know it means we're almost...
Almost what?
Luis! Long time no see, rookie.
Major Krauser? What the hell? Why?
Recovering stolen goods. And killing a few rats along the way. Easy work.
Ashley. It was you.
Catch on quick. Didn't I teach you? Knives are faster. Not good.
From what I understood from this game, Agent Krauser trained Leon in one of the past games and got lost in the jungle where he had some sort of revelation. That's really it, that's all I know. Anyways, this boss fight was actually quite fun, I enjoyed it. Didn't last very long though. Upon getting absolutely walloped by this bunny jumping freak, Leon was about to get shanked until... Louise saves the day. Krauser decided to leave them alone after this, so Leon darted towards Louise, and I'll just let it play out once more.
My friend. And such a loss to the ladies of the world.
Don't talk.
Take this. The key to my laboratory. Go there and remove those damn parasites. Help Ashley Sounds right.
With the unfortunate end of the past chapter, I decide to lighten up the mood a bit by exploring the castle again. Making my way round, I find the throne room and... Okay bro, you ain't Kratos. With that mini aura farm, I decide to come back to reality and move on to find Ashley. On my way forward, I find a carriage that takes me to the clock tower where she's supposed to be. Once we enter the so-said clock tower, Ramon shows up again, applauding us, and then immediately after sends his fuck-ass henchman after me. Not to worry, my Overwatch aim helped me this time to eradicate any soul that dared to approach me. I slowly make my way up to the clock tower, destroying a head, avoiding an Elden Ring board, running down the stairs, and getting fat fucks off my elevator. Once I got to the top, I shut out my binoculars once more to see where they were taking Ashley and decide to follow them.
Jacob?
Yeah, that was my third death. Anyways, learning from my mistakes, I tread lightly down and towards the door that they just entered. As I open the door, a cutscene plays. In short, Ramon delivers Ashley to Krauser as Leon runs up the stairs. He doesn't make it in time to save Ashley as the gate closes behind Krauser.
Such a fool, Mr. Kennedy. To have been bestowed with Lord Sattler's.
You talk too much.
Failed.
You vulgar, utterly uncivilized mongrel!
Leon fully did the Eren Yeager, bro, ain't letting no one talk about her up. Anyways, this is how the boss fight starts. I don't really understand this one. I thought I had to run away from his attacks the entire time and shoot him after, not chase him round up and down too, so it took a bit for me to kill him, but I ended up doing it on the first try. Remember, I have hit Diamond in Valorant. With Ramon now dead, I get past him to follow Krauser. I end up in another elevator which takes me downward. As I get to the bottom, I see Krauser on a boat with Ashley. At the bottom, I find my own boat and get in it. With no way of getting the boat turned on, a certain someone appears again.
Looking for something?
And that's where the chapter ends. This chapter starts off with Leon trying to talk to Ada, saying how he thinks he's changed and then asking Ada if she's changed, as he believes she's just using him and... oh, she is, Leon. She is. With that, Ada dips and Leon takes control of the boat.
Don't think too hard, handsome. See you later.
Story of my life.
What, thinking too handsomely? Yeah, I get that all the time.
Leon docks the boat and gets off, and this is where we take control again. Upon climbing up the very huge steps, we finally see the end area of the game. I don't actually know what this area is called, and Surging Up talks about a singular abandoned factory, so I'll just call it the industrial plant. This area, I didn't really fuck with in most places. I just think at this point of the game, it just felt really dragged out and unnecessary, but don't get me wrong, I still had fun. However, I will skip a lot of these parts, it's just pure fighting. Moving my way through this treacherous place, I enter a building with a plethora of traps, of which one...
Are you gonna do what I think you're gonna do?
Moving deeper into the building, I end up in probably the most like horror part of the game. Fair response. I start unwillingly walking towards where that freak was and turn on some sort of power switch. I go back to the main part where I need to solve this weird puzzle to get into the door. A few minutes of trying to figure it out, I manage to get through the door, look around, find the level 1 keycard and try and make my way back. Until... panic coursing through my body, I keep pumping shotgun bullets into him and decide to just leg it. I switch the power back and make my way to the freezer. I figure out another one of those puzzles and find a new gun, the LE5, a new submachine gun that, to be honest, I barely used. With that, I begin upgrading this keycard, which unfortunately wakes up another one of those freaks. I stall him long enough for the keycard to upgrade, take the card and run as fast as possible. I switch the power once again and make my way through a level 2 door.
What the fuck?
Yo, calm down, bro.
Right. Moving further in, I find a biosensor scope which now let me see where the different key points of these freaks are, and thank the Lord this makes everything so much easier. Anyways, I use this new scope to shoot one of them as he held a wrench within his body. I used this wrench to then unlock the third keycard upgrade. During this upgrade I got ambushed by more Plaga fucks which I took down pretty quickly. With the keycard now level 3 I make my way through the final door. Using this card I unlock the gate which Ashley was locked behind and inject her with the Plaga suppressant, and that's where this chapter ends. Chapter 14 starts with Ashley waking up. We inform her about Lewis's death and then contact Ada asking about where his lab could be. She gives us a hint and we move on from there. Moving through the areas one by one, we reach a wall, literally. With one option in mind, Ashley gets into the wrecking ball vehicle thing, I don't know the name of it, and starts slamming the wall as I need to defend her. I can move tower defense later and she manages to get through the wall and we get the lift up. Within the next area we find the origin of the parasite, stuck in these orange rocks. I don't actually know what they are, but I'm too lazy to find out right now. Anyways, moving on, we get into another cutscene where we finally meet the one and only Palpatine. Leon, learning that these bullets do fuck all most of the time, shoots Lord Sadler, and what a surprise, it did fuck all. Using the parasite, Lord Sadler paralyzes Leon as he takes control of Ashley and tries to make her shoot him. Thankfully, she resisted enough to miss both shots and hit the people behind it. Trying to eventually hit Leon, the gun ran out of bullets, and so Lord Sadler takes Ashley once again and leaves. We lost her again. Following where they left again, I end up going against Krauser once again. The first stage was trying to get through a fighter arena. I have that in quotation marks because that's what I understand it as. It's something that trains the soldiers or something along those lines. Anyways, I end up getting through it quite easily, avoiding him jumping on me occasionally. Finally reaching past explosive arrows, we get to the next area which involves actual one-to-one combat again. Beating him in that started the actual boss fight, mutated Krauser, but not after trying to escape an underground bit of the playground. Eventually I got back up and this time the boss fight actually starts. Making quick and easy work on him with parries and a ton of shotgun shells, Krauser knows his fate and tells Leon to end him, and so with one knife he kills his own senior. Hey, at least we got a new knife from him though. Oh yeah, this is where chapter 14 ends. Starting chapter 15, we make our way up the tower. Once we get to the top, Leon uses binoculars again to find where the sanctuary is. With that, we move on to try and save Ashley for the final time. Making my way down now, I start shooting the Plaga Fogs until I get railed by a minigun. Karma was instant though, as finally some backup came, as a helicopter killed everything in my path. Mike's the goat. With Mike's help, I make my way through the army of the zombies. This happens a few times until...
No.
Yeah, that didn't last long. RIP. Of course, where explosions are, there's always someone aura farming, and this time it was Sadler. I don't even do anything. Making my way inside a building, I get met with some suspiciously looking hanging bags, and boy was I right to be suspicious. This is also where we meet an even more annoying variety of the regenerator fuckers. The ones that don't fucking die. Just kidding, they do, after shooting them out with a fuck-ass deagle. With that, I twist some wheels and reach the outside once again. Making easy work of the rest of the zombies, I enter through the door and find Ashley for the final time. I let the cutscene run once again.
What do you want?
I simply wish to share this gift with as many as possible. A humble wish, don't you think? You see, we are all connected through the holy body. And now your flesh and bones, your very thoughts, are already one with us.
Bullshit.
Why do you reject serenity when you need only accept the sacred gift? Like she did.
Sadler!
Ah, yes, the time has come for this lamb to join our covenant. Oh, blessings unto him and the sweet mercy they bring. Exalt all and let it be so.
Leon! Go!
So with that, we waddle towards Luis's lab as the hallucinations get more and more intense. Thankfully, Leon manages to get Ashley into the lab, onto the chair, and runs the parasite removal procedure before passing out himself, and that's where chapter 15 ends. the final chapter. We wake up from Leon's perspective on the chair, finding out that Ashley removed the parasites from us. Good job, Ashley. Moving back to where Ada blasted Sadler, we make our way through another door where we encounter the merchant for the final time. Selling the rest of my valuables and upgrading my weapons as much as I can, I say farewell to the merchant and make my way to the finale. Moving outside, we find Ada tied up, hanging in the air. Leon shoots her down, and with that, Lord Sadler arrives once more. With that, the final boss fight begins. I remember enjoying this fight quite a bit. It was simple but still felt quite hard. At some point during the fight, Sadler summons more of those flying thugs, but they didn't really do anything. With my focus back on him, I take out his final eye. With enough damage taken, he finally falls to his death. Okay, maybe not yet. With enough bullets in his brain, Ada throws me an RPG, which I then use to blow the motherfucker up. Alright, before we get going with the final part, can we talk about that sick-ass run-up? Holy shit, it looked like it was straight from an anime.
I'll give you a holy body. Ada, what the hell are you doing?
Nothing personal, Leon. Luis and I had an arrangement. Don't worry, I'll take good care of it. Ride's here. You coming?
I think we both know this is where we go our separate ways.
I see. Better get a move on.
Cute.
Until next time, Leon.
Leon! Where's she going?
Who knows?
I don't understand. Why would she just...
We gotta move. Island's gonna blow.
It's gonna what?
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the problem at hand. The island is blowing up and we have under 3 minutes to get out. Running past a whole population of stroke victims, we find a boat and weave our way around the obstacles. With a final leap, we make it out the island before it blows up.
You alright?
I'm not sure that was insane. Mission accomplished, right?
Mission accomplished. When you're home safe.
Thank you for saving me.
Don't mention it.
You know, I could put in a word with my dad. Have you assigned to my detail, if you're interested.
You don't need me. You proved you could handle yourself. Even if you could use a lesson in knife safety. Come on. Let's go home.
So yeah, that was Resident Evil 4, the remake. Probably one of my favourite story games now, and don't worry, I will play the DLC, that will happen. And then after I'll go through the other games. But with this, we reached the end of the video. If you made it this far, thank you. This was my most ambitious video yet, and it means a lot to me if you actually stuck to the end. I'll try more like this with the other story games too, because I did have a lot of fun making this, and I hope anyone watching this will also like my future videos. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the DLC. Wait a minute. Where's Cupcake?